Hi, my name is Gene and this is my first time making YouTube video, also the first time replacing a window crank arm operator. Let me show you what's going on. So we're in a high-rise and this is the window where, let me show you, the arm operator which is supposed to operate the window is broken. Specifically, what broke is it does not attach to the window anymore. This piece, called the pivot shoe, as I found in Google, has broke off and detached from the arm. So it doesn't close and it's a little cold, so I'm wearing a coat. Good news is that I actually know the right part number and I ordered them online. And we're just going to replace them. The big complication is because this is a high-rise, you cannot access it from the outside. We must do all the work from the inside, even somehow accessing that pivot shoe and the guide channel in which it goes back and forth. So first, this handle just comes off super easily. Second, I have this new arm for it, with a pivot shoe that is not broken. Third, we're gonna need some equipment. We're gonna need 2 screwdrivers. One Phillips screwdriver and one square screwdriver of size 2 in my case. Of course, in the case of your window, things might be a little different. But that's pretty much all we will need. At the end, we will need a silicone-based lubricant to lubricate the whole thing. Otherwise, it's not gonna last too long. Now, it is time to cheat. I actually have another window on my balcony where the operator arm is not broken. So I opened it to see what it looks like from underneath. And here we have what is called the channel guide, or at least Google tells me it's called the channel guide. And inside of this channel guide, this pivot shoe moves back and forth, back and forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this middle piece, the little screw which holds the channel guide, and we're going to do it from the inside of the apartment, so it's going to be some acrobatics. After we unscrew the this little screw that holds the channel guide, we're going to be able to take the previous pivot shoe that's broken out of the channel guide, and we're going to be able to put the new shoe with the new arm, sliding it into the channel guide from here, and then at the end we will put the screw back in, or so is the plan. Alright, so I have this window where the crank operator has detached from the window itself because of the broken pivot shoe. Here is what a crank operator arm looks like. It has a crank and it has a pivot shoe. Pivot shoe in this case broke off and I'm gonna need to replace it. First I will unscrew the channel guide as we talked, and for that I'm gonna have to stick the screwdriver outside to be safe. I just attached a piece of line to it. I don't want the screwdriver to fall on someone's head if I drop it. So let's see. It should go somewhere here. I'll have to find where the exact screw is that's holding the channel guide, and I cannot shoot the video because I'm gonna use 2 hands, but that's what the process will be like. Oh, and just to be clear, the screw that's out there is kind of similar to, it's exactly the same screw as one of these guys. So a square bit in a screwdriver, size 2 in my case, should be good enough to detach that screw. Alright, so it's about to come out, and yes. So this is the screw which is holding the channel guide in place. Let me show you where the channel guide is. The channel guide is this thing. So this screw was holding the channel guide in place and was sitting in this hole. Now it is time to unscrew the previous arm and to put the new arm in. Now the one on the right. Please be gentle on those screws, because if you break one of them, you are in much bigger trouble. Here comes the second one. Somewhere here. Anyway, it was there, I just saw it. And two more to go. Okay, and the last screw, the old arm should come off. Here we go. So the old arm comes out. The new arm we can put in. The new arm just goes in, I think. Again, this is my first video, so it should not be, it's probably not of the best quality, but I hope you like. But I didn't find any videos on YouTube which would show how to do it in a high-rise when you just have access from one side, so I'm just showing that. Now I'm just gonna need to put all the screws back in. Alright, so the last of the 4 screws is now in safely. Please don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, you're not going to be able to take them back out, I don't know, 10 years later, if the arm needs replacement again. If the crank if the arm needs replacement again. Now you can see there is this channel guide and the pivot shoe, and what we have to do is we need to put the shoe on its back like this, and then insert the pivot shoe into the channel guide. Let's see what we can do. Oh, okay, bringing the window down just a little, and now it has to go in, more or less. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to stop the video. No, I think I can do it with the video, but I'm gonna need to use both hands this operation. Okay, there we go. I have put it in. Now I just need to rotate the crank a little so that it fully goes in. Nope, in the other direction. Yes, like this. See, the pivot shoe goes into the channel. Super simple. Now the tricky part is, you can see this hole, right? This hole is where this little screw must be put in from the reverse side, so to attach the channel guide back to the window frame. That's going to be the hardest and the weirdest part, but here's how we're gonna do it. So this is the correct screwdriver for this screw. I'm going to I'm not gonna videotape this because I'm gonna need both hands, but I'm gonna stick the screwdriver outside and slowly get that screw in. Okay, I think we are done with that screw. It is important to not overdo, they say, because otherwise we're gonna get into bigger trouble next time, or even this time. We don't want to break that screw. So let's see if it works, if the pivot shoe slides on the channel now. Hey, yes, everything is working. So one thing that still needs to be done is I need to lubricate the whole thing. I need to lubricate these pieces on the side, I don't know what they're called, and I will need to lubricate the channel guide with a new pivot shoe in it, because otherwise they will not last as long as otherwise they would. And I'm gonna need to lubricate inside of this crank as well. Yes. Alright, so this is it, but the window should close and the replacement is complete. You can just do it yourself. It's not all that difficult.